The taiga forest biome is the largest biome in the world. It is located in the northern hemisphere and is prominent in North America, Asia, and Europe. It stretches across Alaska, Canada, Scandinavia, and Russia. In North America, there is a type of land called the Canadian Shield. The Canadian Shield has a surface of rock that blocks water from reaching the surface and makes up a large part of the taiga biome. The taiga is located between 50 degrees latitude north and the Arctic Circle, one of the major lines of latitude situated along the northern part of the globe. Abiotic factors of the taiga forest biome include temperature, sunlight, soil, air, and water. The habitat of the taiga coniferous forest consists of warm, rainy, and humid summers, while briskly low temperatures and abundant snowfall in the wintertime. The winter months are always below freezing point. The temperature of the coldest and the warmest months are -12 degrees Celsius and 20 degrees Celsius, respectively. Soil water is frozen for 5 to 7 months of winter season in continuation. The mean annual precipitation ranges between 370 and 600 millimeters and is received mostly in the form of snow, which accumulates throughout the winter and is released as surface water due to thawing because of an increase in temperature during the summer. The precipitation is more or less uniformly distributed throughout the year, whether in the liquid form or in the solid snow form. This allows for the fertile soil of the taiga. The expansive trees of the conifers often block sunlight from reaching the forest floor. This consequently affects plants in which they are adapted to living off little and sporadic exposure to the sun's rays. Biotic factors are defined as all of the wildlife that makes its home in the taiga, including such species as bears, foxes, squirrels, deer, and coyotes, just to name a few. These animals all play major roles in the environment and interactions within the taiga food webs. Some more biotic factors include the bountiful array of plants and vegetation within the biome. The taiga is a great place for plants to grow, since the fertile soil and high amount of precipitation make it a place for plant organisms to thrive. Some main animal species that our presentation will focus upon include the black bear, grizzly bear, bald eagle, red fox, and river otter. Main plant species to be discussed include the balsam fir and the eastern red cedar. These, among with many other biotic factors, influence the growth and life of the taiga coniferous forest biomes throughout the world. The black bear's coat is well adapted to the cold weather of winter due to its many layers of shaggy fur. Its claws are also very adapted to its environment because they are just the right length to climb the many trees that surround its forest home. This bear also hibernates to avoid having to find food in the winter. The grizzly bear has a stout and heavy build with very muscular legs, allowing them to reach speeds of up to 35 miles per hour for a short distance. They walk in a heel-toe pattern similar to that of humans. The grizzly bear eats 200 different kinds of plants that make up 75% of its diet. The other 25% is made up of insects, honey, small rodents, mammals, and carcasses. It has an omnivore diet, as all bears in its family. The grizzly bear is a main predator within the taiga biome. It assists in reducing the population of weak animals to regulate certain species, such as deviations of deer. The bald eagle is found over most of the North American taiga, but 80% of them are in Alaska. They build several kinds of nests that can be very large and are often found in trees, on cliffs, and on the forest floor. They alter the shape of their nests to fit different trees. The red fox is very sly and intelligent, often adapting well to different habitats. It specializes in hunting small mammals such as rabbits and hares. The red fox usually rests in a burrow during the day that was recently abandoned by larger creatures such as badgers. It ranges from North America, Canada, Alaska, and northern Europe across to the Pacific Ocean. The river otter
So
benefits
here
from
we
its
have
environment
the
and relies on
otters
various traits to avoid danger.
and the monkeys.
It has
They were
adaptations
fighting.
such as
And
guard
they're
eyes to
about
keep it from consuming valuable scent glands to mark territory, identify itself amongst other
How are the
animals, or
monkeys
for
got?
defense, similar to that of a skunk. They are often found in rivers and lakes, and even play and fight with one another. Some plant species found within the taiga biome include the balsam fir and eastern red cedar. The balsam fir is one of the major food supplies for moose in the winter. Red squirrels will eat the male flower buds and carry them to other plants for fertilization. The eastern red cedar provides food for animals such as pheasants and other songbirds. Some issues with the habitat of the taiga forest include habitat fragmentation and deforestation, largely impacting the species of plants and animals as well as environmental factors that make up the biome. Habitat fragmentation is the process by which habitat loss results in the division of large, continuous habitats into smaller, more isolated remnants. From threats like deforestation, which is the act of removing forestry and communities of species, habitat fragmentation is gradually depleting the populations of organisms within the taiga. Some other major detriments to the growth of the taiga biome include the use of harmful pesticides or herbicides, as well as industrial forestry. The harmful environmental effects placed upon the taiga biome can be prevented by regulating human involvement within the ecosystem. This way, the continuation of life for plants and animals alike will still be able to continue and prosper. Organizations such as the World Wildlife Fund have taken initiative to eliminate involvement to harm endangered species, and governments alike have continuously passed legislation preventing deforestation and similar actions.
Some producers are berries, mosses, and dwarf willow. Examples of primary consumers are squirrels, snowshoe hares, woodland caribou, and beavers. Several secondary consumers are owls, fox, and weasels. Tertiary consumers primarily consist of wolves, coyotes, bears, and lynx. Speaking of lynx, in the northern part of its range, the lynx serves as one half of a classic predator-prey relationship, feeding almost exclusively on the snowshoe hare, a large northern rabbit that wears a brown coat in summer and a white one in winter. The two species evolved together, the cat becoming a specialist in killing the hare, and the hare becoming adept at eluding the lynx. The lynx kills an average of one hare every 2 or 3 days. It will turn to killing rodents and other animals if the hares become scarce. The link between lynx and hare is so tight in the north that the two species populations fluctuate in almost perfect synchrony. The social interactions between the wolf population is intriguing as well. Wolves use body language to convey the rules of the pack. A wolf pack is very organized. Rule number 1 says that the pack is made up of leaders and followers. The pack leaders are often the oldest, largest, strongest, and most intelligent wolves in the pack. The dominant male and female are in charge of the pack. To communicate dominance, they carry their tails high and stand tall. Less dominant wolves exhibit submissive behavior by holding their tails down and often lower their bodies while pawing at the higher-ranking wolves. A dominant wolf may stare penetratingly at a submissive one, pin it to the ground, ride up on its shoulders, or even stand on its hind legs. In terms of migration, birds like woodpeckers, cedar waxwings, robins, red-breasted nuthatches, hermit thrushes, ducks, waterfowl, and geese migrate to warmer areas during the winter season. Migration is also observed in caribou and wolves, which share a predator-prey relationship. According to an article by David Wilkove, the rate at which migratory species are declining seems to have accelerated in recent years. Ornithologists using radar to monitor the spring migration of songbirds across the Gulf of Mexico report that the number of nightly flights dropped by nearly 50% between 1963 and 1989. Non-native insects such as the bark beetle can infest trees such as spruce. Millions of these insects bore into the bark of trees laying eggs. The infested trees die. Bark beetle infestations can kill entire forests and thousands of acres of taiga. Dead trees tend to fuel the forest fires and add more carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. Except for general cultural practices that improve tree vigor, little can be done to control most bark beetles once trees have been attacked. Unless infested trees are cut and infested materials are quickly removed, burned, or chipped on site, large numbers of beetles can emerge and kill nearby host trees, especially if live, unattacked trees nearby are weak by other factors.
Keystone species is defined as a species that is not necessarily abundant in a community yet exerts strong control on community structure by the nature of its ecological role or niche. Innumerable species rely either partly or entirely on beaver ponds, many of them threatened or endangered in the taiga biome. Therefore, whenever we can coexist with beavers, we are providing the habitat necessary for supporting many other species. Direct benefits of beavers to humans include decreasing damaging floods, removing pollutants from surface and groundwater, and decreasing erosion. For the various other species within the taiga biome, beavers produce food for fish and other animals, creating vital habitats within aquatic environments, as well as maintaining stream and river flow. A species that is placed on the IUCN Red List for endangered species is the gray wolf. Originally, the gray wolf was the world's most widely distributed mammal. It has become extinct in much of Western Europe, in Mexico, and much of the United States, and their present distribution is more restricted. Wolves occur primarily but not exclusively in wilderness and remote areas. Their original worldwide range has been reduced by about one-third by the deliberate persecution due to depredation on livestock and fear of attacks on humans. Continued threats like competition with humans for livestock and game species, exaggerated concern by the public regarding the threat and danger of wolves, and fragmentation of habitat have greatly diminished the wolf population in the Taiga biome and around the world.
To get the baby. What do you guys think about these? Yeah. What do you guys think about the monkeys?
They're very active for this early in the morning.
Yes.
More active than the pandas.
They love to jump.
Okay.
I love monkeys.
What do you guys think about the giraffes? What can you observe about the behavior?
They like food.
Very hungry.
I got long.
There's
I got leaves.